Next entry is one of my recent entries, which is someone I think in... I don't remember where. I'm not sure whether it was... Maybe it could have been on CSI. Let's see if it comes up here. Don't kill the cat! Ha! Insect blood. They said that insect blood is green. Coordinated movements of the body, blah, 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 blah. Between contractions, diaphragms and the wall, hearts open to allow hemolymph to enter. Hemolymph fills all the interior hemocyl of the animal's body and surrounds all cells and contains... This is a little bit creepy. It has to do with blood. It contains hemocyanin, a copper-based protein that turns blue when oxygenated. Instead, the iron-based hemoglobin in red blood cells found in vertebrates, giving hemolymph a blue-green color rather than the red color of vertebrate blood. When not oxygenated, hemolymph quickly loses its color and appears gray. So it's bluish-greenish when it's oxygenated, as opposed to our blood, which is a bluish-green when it's not oxygenated, the color of the veins, and it's red when it is oxygenated. Let's see if they mention green anywhere else. Alright, hemolymph or hemolymph. Let's have some fun with this. I'm gonna make the computer pronounce a specific letter. Oh, they don't have this here. Hemolymph is a fluid analogous to the blood in vertebrates that circulates in the interior. I'm really annoyed by static web pages that have animations in them. So no thanks. Circulates in the interior of the arthropod invertebrate body, remaining in direct contact with the animal's tissues. It is composed of a fluid plasma in which hemolymph cells called hemocytes are suspended. In addition to hemocytes, the plasma also contains many chemicals. It is the major tissue type of the open circulatory system characteristic of arthropods. We should have started with that. For example, arachnids, crustaceans, and insects. Well, they just mentioned what it is. Yes, arthropods. Okay. In addition, some non-arthropods, such as mollusks, possess a hemolymphatic circulatory system. Oxygen transport systems were long thought unnecessary in insects, but ancestral, because we know that a lot of insects breathe through ducts within their abdomen, I believe. Obviously, they don't have the standard concept of what a respiratory system is for us. But ancestral and functional hemocyanin has been found in the hemolymph. Insect blood generally does not carry hemoglobin, although hemoglobin may be present in the tracheal system instead and play some role in respiration. Hemoglobin, sorry about the noise, is the iron-containing oxygen transport protein present in erythrocytes, red blood cells, of almost all vertebrates, the exception being the fish family Chaonychthidae, as well as the tissues of some invertebrate animals. Hemoglobin in the blood carries oxygen from the respiratory organs, lungs, or gills to the tissues of the body, where it releases oxygen to enable aerobic respiration, which powers the animal's metabolism. A healthy human has 12 to 20 grams of hemoglobin in every 100 milliliters of blood. Hemoglobin is a metalloprotein, a chromoprotein, and globulin. Hemocyanin proteins that transport oxygen to the bodies of invertebrate animals. Metalloproteins, again hemo, contain two copper atoms. that reversibly bind a single oxygen molecule. They are second only to hemoglobin in frequency of use as an oxygen transport molecule. Unlike the hemoglobin in red blood cells found in vertebrates, hemocyanins are not confined in blood cells but are instead suspended directly in the hemolymph. Oxygenation causes a color change between the method of transport. A closed portion of the system consists of tubular hearts and an aorta running along the dorsal side of the insect. The hearts pump hemolymph into the... It would have been interesting to see like x-rays of a bug, or like cross-section if that is even possible without damaging the structure. Sinuses of the hemocoel, where exchanges of materials takes place. The volume of hemolymph needed for each system is kept to a minimum by a reduction in the size of the body cavity. The hemocell divided into chambers called sinuses. So that's where the bug's sinuses are. Constituents: inorganic amino acids, proteins, other inorganic constituents, hemocytes. Comparisons to vertebrates. This open system might appear to be inefficient compared to the closed circulatory systems of the vertebrates, but the two systems have very different demands placed on them. In vertebrates, the circulatory system is responsible for transporting oxygen to all the tissue and removing carbon dioxide from them. It is this requirement that establishes the level of performance demanded of the system. The efficiency of the vertebrate system is far greater than is needed for transporting nutrients, hormones, and so on, whereas in insects, exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide occurs in the tracheal system. Hemolymph plays no part in the process of most insects. Only a few insects living in low oxygen environments are there hemoglobin-like molecules that bind oxygen and transport it to the tissues. Therefore, the demands placed upon the system are much lower. Some arthropods and mollusks possess the copper-containing hemocyanin, however, for oxygen transport. Specialist uses. In some species, hemolymph has other uses than just being a blood analog. As the insect or arachnid grows, the hemolymph works something like a hydraulic system, enabling the insect or arachnid to expand segments before they are sclerotized. Molting, I guess. Sclerotization is a form of tanning in which quinones are enzymatically introduced into the cuticle and react with terminal lysine-related amino groups and proteins to form strong links between the molecules, resulting material greatly increase the rigidity of an insect's chitinous exoskeleton, which is otherwise fairly soft. It is particularly prominent in the thicker armored parts of an insect or an arachnid integument, such as in the biting mouth parts and sclerites of scorpions and beetles. It can also be used hydraulically as a means of assisting movement, such as in arachnid locomotion. Choo-choo! They make more use than muscle contraction, employing additional methods like hydraulic compression. Another adaptation seen especially in larger arachnid variants, an inclusion of elastic connective tissues. Some species of insect or arachnid are able to auto-hemorrhage when they are attacked by predators. Queens of the ant genus Leptanilla are fed with hemolymph produced by the larvae. On the other hand, Pemphigus spirothecae utilize hemolymph as an adhesive, allowing the species to stick to predators and subsequently attack the predator. It was found that with large predators, more aphids were stuck after the predator was defeated. Insect physiology. Respiratory system of insects. Yes, this is what we wanted to see. This is development of the tracheal system. Yes, the vents, or whatever I called them. Ostium. Let's see what the search engine is gonna bring up. Insect blood green. Common knowledge from a few websites. Insect blood is greenish or yellowish color due to a mixture of blue and yellow chromoproteins called insectoverdin, which is a mixture of carotenoids and biliverdin. The yellowish greenish color insect blood comes from the pigments of the plants the bug eats. Insects have an open circulatory system lacking arteries and veins, unlike vertebrates. Hemolymph, that's what we read here. Insect blood is clear or tinged with a yellow or green. Let's see what Quora says. Are we going to use the old version of ChatGPT? Many bugs have green blood because it creates a pigment called hemolymph, which is similar to our red blood cells. That's what we already read about that. Flows through open space to the body. The green color of the hemolymph is the present copper-containing protein called hemocyanin. Cyan is bluish, blue-greenish type of color, I think. It's like a light blue. Hemolymph is also green because it contains a high concentration of biliverdin, a green bile pigment. There we go. Some insects and arachnids have blue or yellow blood because they have different pigments. In place of the two fluids contained in vessels in the vertebrate body, blood and lymph, insects and some other invertebrates have a single fluid called hemolymph. Hemolymph. Lymph, because, of course, if I only read it properly. They have a heart that circulates it, but the aorta leading away from the heart ends after a short distance and just empties the fluid into the body cavity called hemocoel, instead of leading to smaller and smaller arteries and then capillaries. I hope that answered this question.